A cold evening settles over the city, the kind where the air feels heavier than usual and people walk a little faster, eyes
Listen
fixed ahead,
closely,
hands
because
tucked
this is
deep into
important.
pockets.
You have to be brave
Streetlights
now,
flicker
more than
on one
ever.
by one, painting the road in soft amber lines. Traffic hums in the background, horns, engines, distant voices, life moving on without pausing for anyone. Near a small roadside tea stall, steam rises from kettles like quiet prayers. The vendor wipes the counter, tired but alert, waiting for the last few customers of the night. A man in his late 30s walks past, coat slightly worn, shoes scuffed from a long day. His face carries the weight of responsibilities, rent due, work stress, unanswered messages. He slows for a moment, glancing at the stall, then keeps walking. He's learned to ignore small pulls of emotion, stopping always costs something. A few steps ahead, a young boy sits on the edge of the sidewalk. He can't be more than 8 or 9. His jacket is thin, sleeves a little short, hands red from the cold. He isn't begging loudly, isn't waving at passers-by. He's just there, quiet, watching people's shoes go by, counting footsteps without knowing why. Every now and then, his stomach tightens, a dull ache reminding him he hasn't eaten since morning. The man notices him, just briefly. A glance, the kind that usually passes and disappears. He tells himself the usual things, someone else will help. I'm late, I've got my own problems. He takes another step, then the boy coughs. It's small, dry, almost polite, but it cuts through the noise. The man stops without fully deciding to. He turns back, annoyed at himself more than anything. The boy looks up, eyes wide but careful, as if he's learned not to expect much. Are you okay? The man asks, surprised by how rough his own voice sounds. The boy nods quickly. Yes, he says. It's automatic. Honesty has taught him it doesn't always help. The man hesitates. This is the moment he usually leaves. Instead, he asks, have you eaten? Another nod. Too fast. The man exhales slowly. He looks toward the tea stall again. Then back at the boy. Come, he says, gently. Not a command, an invitation. They sit on 2 small stools near the stall. The vendor raises an eyebrow but says nothing. The man orders bread, curry, and tea. When the plate arrives, the boy stares at it for half a second, like it might disappear. Then he eats, careful at first, then faster, warmth spreading through his fingers and chest with every bite. The man watches quietly. He doesn't ask questions. He lets the moment be simple. After a while, the boy slows down. Thank you, he says, softer now. What's your name? The man asks. Ali. The man nods. I'm Ahmed. Ali looks at him, curious. You didn't have to stop, he says, not accusing, just stating a fact he knows well. Ahmed smiles faintly. I know. Silence settles between them, comfortable. The city keeps moving, but this small corner feels paused. Ahmed pays the vendor and stands. He reaches into his pocket, pulls out a little extra money, then hesitates. He remembers times when money alone felt like being pushed away. Instead, he crouches to Ali's level. Is there somewhere safe you stay? Ali nods. With my aunt. Not far. Good, Ahmed says. He thinks for a moment, then hands Ali the money, not a lot, but enough. For food. And for school, if you go. Ali's eyes widen. I do, he says quickly. Sometimes. That's okay, Ahmed replies. Just don't stop trying. Ali holds the money carefully, like it's fragile. I won't. Ahmed stands, ready to leave. As he turns, Ali speaks again. Mister. Yes. When I grow up, Ali says, unsure but hopeful, I want to do this too. Ahmed pauses. The words land heavier than expected. He nods once. That's enough, he says. They part ways. Ahmed walks home, the same road as before, but it feels different. Lighter. His problems haven't vanished, but something has shifted. He realizes kindness didn't take from him, it gave him something back. Days pass. Weeks. Ahmed returns to that street often, sometimes with food, sometimes just to check. He doesn't always find Ali, but when he does, they talk. About school. About dreams. About small things that matter. Years later, the street looks different. New shops, brighter lights. Ahmed is older now, hair touched with gray. One evening, as he waits at the same tea stall, a young man approaches, confident, warm-eyed. Tea for you. The young man asks, already ordering. Ahmed looks at him, puzzled, then recognition hits. Ali. Ali smiles. You stopped once, he says. That changed everything. They sit together, steam rising between them, the city humming on. Kindness, passed quietly from one moment to another, continuing its journey, unseen, but never lost. The night doesn't end where kindness begins. It stretches. Quietly. Ahmed keeps walking, but the image of Ali sitting on that cold pavement follows him home. He notices things he usually ignores: the security guard warming his hands over a cup of tea, the cleaner sweeping leaves under a streetlight, the tired woman counting coins at a bus stop. The world hasn't changed. His eyes have. At home, he eats dinner without tasting it. His phone lights up with messages he doesn't answer. Instead, he thinks about how easily he almost didn't stop. How close kindness came to never happening. The next morning, Ahmed wakes earlier than usual. He packs an extra sandwich before leaving for work. He tells himself it's nothing. Just habit. But habits have a way of growing. That evening, Ali isn't at the same spot. Ahmed feels an unexpected pinch of disappointment. He waits a few minutes, then leaves the sandwich with the tea vendor, asking him to give it to the boy if he comes by. The vendor nods, expression softer than before. Days pass like this. Sometimes Ahmed sees Ali, sometimes he doesn't. When they do meet, they don't talk much. They don't need to. A nod, a smile, food shared, warmth exchanged without ceremony. One rainy afternoon, Ali arrives soaked, shoes squelching with every step. Ahmed hands him a towel from his bag, something he carries now without thinking. Why do you help me? Ali asks suddenly. Ahmed pauses. He could give a simple answer. He chooses the honest one. Because once, someone helped me when I didn't expect it. Ali considers this, rain tapping around them like punctuation. Then I think, he says slowly, it's like a line. One to another. Ahmed smiles. Yes, like a line. Months roll on. Ali starts coming cleaner, more confident. He talks about school, math he doesn't like, a teacher who believes in him, a test he passed. Ahmed listens more than he speaks. He learns that support doesn't always sound wise. Sometimes it just sounds present. One evening, Ahmed doesn't show up. Ali waits. The tea gets cold. The street empties. He tells himself not to expect things. Expectation hurts. The next day, Ahmed returns with a bandaged hand and an apology. Life happened, he says simply. Ali nods. He understands that too. Years layer themselves quietly. Childhood loosens its grip on Ali. His voice deepens. His shoulders square. He studies hard, works small jobs, refuses to quit when quitting would be easier. On difficult days, he remembers the man who stopped when he didn't have to. Ahmed watches from a respectful distance. He never claims credit. He never calls himself anything important. He just stays reachable. Then one day, Ali doesn't come anymore. Not once. Not twice. Not for weeks. Ahmed worries but doesn't chase. He trusts the line to keep moving. Time passes. The city renovates itself. Old stalls disappear. New glass buildings rise. Ahmed ages into a quieter version of himself. And then, years later, on a familiar street, a familiar pause. A young man stops when he hears a child cough. The circle doesn't close with noise. It continues. With a stop, a look, a choice. Kindness rarely announces itself. It just keeps walking, waiting for someone to notice.